All right, good evening. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back. I am so incredibly excited to play Conquests of the Longbow. This is a classic from Sierra using their point and click interface. And I opened with this. This is some imagery that comes out of the manual because this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous game. And I loved the attention to detail and the illustrations and everything that was put into the manual. But it's also a game that you can't play if you don't have the manual handy, because that was what basically passed as copy protection back in the day. And so it's one of those where you're going to get to parts of the game where they'll be like, oh, do you know this coat of arms? And unless you just happen to have them memorized, you actually have to look them up. Ditto gemstones. There's another part involving like the druidic names of trees and so forth. But that's fine. We will cross those bridges when we get to them, because for now it is time to play Conquests of the Longbow. I chose this one. It should come up here in a second. It's a little sluggish. But I chose this one because one of my favorite movies of all time is The Adventures of Robin Hood with Errol Flynn and Olivia de Havilland. And it's just a classic. It is got fantastic sets, and the costumes are so iconic and colorful, and the sword play is a real blast. And so I'm very excited. I've been kind of feeling in a Robin Hood mood lately. And that movie did so much to set sort of modern perceptions of the Robin Hood myth. Because so many of the movies that came after it drew direct influences from it, or were sort of having a go at it and poking fun at it. And now we've gotten to a point where we're basically trying to tell Robin Hood stories that are unrecognizable in order to make them feel fresh and new. Like the most recent one with Ben Mendelsohn, you've got like English guys with like fully automatic crossbows, and it was weird. Okay, this is not popping up. I think it should, though. I'm going to go ahead and start the introduction and see if we can get it to go once it... In the meantime, enjoy that early 90s MIDI soundtrack. On OBS, I know you want to grab this. Oh, there it goes. Hooray. Have a little credits here. So the Conquest series was one that they did. They only did two titles in the series. This one and its predecessor, Conquest of Camelot. It didn't do as well. It was not as well known as like the King's Quest games, Quest for Glory, Police Quest, Space Quest. Like, you get the idea. And yet, I really like this title. It strikes a more serious tone than some of the others. And it's got some really neat sequences. And if you like point and click adventure games, it's a lot of fun. Also, this beat is just... it's a real toe tapper. That's Mark Siebert, of course. If you're playing a Sierra Entertainment game that was made in the 90s, there's a better than not chance you're listening to Mark Siebert, so... In the year of our most gracious Lord, 1193... good King Richard the Lionheart sailed across the sea. The infidels he had besieged, but Jerusalem was lost. Bloody was the Third Crusade, dearly did it cost. Long and dangerous was the road, enemies on all sides. Hidden by the night he rode, cloaked in merchant's guise. But in the realm of Austria, King Leopold did reign. Wasn't a king. He swore to capture Lionheart, or else to have him slain. Here we go. Oh, ambush! Oh, they yank him right off that horse. Mighty oaths did Richard swear at this base treachery. Look how beautiful that scene is. They bound him like a roaring lion to face his enemy. King Leopold was filled with glee to have so rich a prize. His laughter filled the stony hall. His greed rose to the skies. 100,000 golden marks on Richard's head he laid. And Lionheart his prisoner until the ransom paid. I have no fear, King Richard said, my people love me well. They'll raise the ransom that you ask, and damn your soul to hell. And when in England Prince John heard of his brother's golden fee, he swore a dark, unholy oath that he would ne'er go free. So the days have sorely passed, and Lionheart does wait, as Black Prince John and traitorous dogs conspire to seal his fate. While Robin Hood in green Sherwood an outlaw's life does lead, falsely charged by men corrupt to satisfy their greed. At your side, companions true, Little John is one. Alan a Dale, the troubadour, and Much the miller's son. Will Scarlet with his good yew bow, Friar Tuck to pray amen. Bold Robin Hood to lead them all, and so we shall begin. Alright, there we are. That's it. Oh, I love that intro. It's so fun. So I love this game for a whole bunch of different reasons. One, because not a lot of the Robin Hood stories deal with Richard's capture and ransom. Most of them just sort of have Richard showing up at the end to set things right. And he just kind of, he spends like 3 minutes on screen and it's like, oh, look, Richard's home. But there's some actual history here. So, yes, King Richard, on his way back home from the Third Crusade, gets captured. So to make a long story a little bit shorter, what basically happens is that Leopold, who is the Duke of Austria, part of the Holy Roman Empire, he's off crusading. They're at the Siege of Acre. The siege isn't really going anywhere. And Leopold is there leading the German contingent, basically the Holy Roman Empire's troops, after the Emperor's son dies. So he's basically in charge of all the German troops that are there. Richard from England and Philip from France show up, help win the siege. Boom. Leopold gets shut out. He wants partial credit, right? I was here, I was fighting, and when the flags go up over the city, the Kingdom of Jerusalem goes up, the Kingdom of England goes up, the Kingdom of France, and the Duchy of Austria. And Richard has the Austrian flag pulled back down. Nope, sorry. 3 kings, 3 flags, we're done. Because you might be a duke, and look, the Duchy of Austria was massive and powerful, but you're still a duke. You're not a king. And Leopold is slighted, he's furious, and he effectively packs his bags and goes home. And he's like, I'm out. Screw this, right? The Third Crusade, it's violent, it's bloody. There is some territory that's reclaimed for the Kingdom of Jerusalem, but they don't actually get Jerusalem back before Richard decides to basically call it quits. On his way home, he's forced to stop in Italy. There's bad weather in the Mediterranean, and the French aren't really letting him stop in their ports. So he decides to try and go overland because he has friends and family and supporters in the Holy Roman Empire. But when he makes it to Vienna, Leopold finds out that he's there and captures him. And so partly it's personal, right? You pissed me off when we were at Acre, and now I'm going to make you pay. But it's also just business, right? This isn't necessarily personal. This is just business. I have you, and you're going to pay a ransom, and then you go free. No harm, no foul. And so it's actually 150,000 marks, which at the time was roughly equivalent to 100,000 pounds of silver. 100,000 pounds of silver. And yes, King of England is held for ransom. First by the Duke of Austria, then they turn him over to Henry IV, who was the Holy Roman Emperor, because Leopold was like, this is kind of above my pay grade. Like, I captured the guy, but you deal with this. And he hands him over to the Emperor. And that's, and a lot of the Robin Hood stories skip this, which is, I think, such a mistake because it's so fun and interesting. And that's the sort of catalyst for this game is you are Robin Hood, but the land is suffering because Prince John is, kind of a bastard and he's not a nice guy. And he's levying taxes. But then you also have the Queen Mother, who's acting as regent in Richard's absence. She's levying taxes because she's trying to raise money to free Richard. And historically, they raise a ridiculous sum. I mean, they tax the ever-living crap out of England. And it's one of those sort of funny moments where, so much of the Robin mythos is, oppressive taxes, and we have to rob from the rich and give to the poor. And we do it to help Richard. But Richard is directly the cause. Because Richard is captured, his own government taxes, it's basically all yeomen and, commoners are taxed on 1/4 of their possessions. Like 1/4 of their wealth is just gone. Then you have additional taxes that are levied against landowners and the nobility. There was basically the scutage, which was a tax that you could pay to get out of military service. And for the crown, it was a win-win. When I call my banners, you are either expected to show up with your retinue of men, and we have a bigger army, or you send a chest of money, and we use that to finance our campaign. Richard, what a dick. Yes, exactly. And so this game has to strike sort of a careful balance between good Queen Eleanor, who's raising good money to ransom Richard, and Prince John, who's raising money because he's, Prince John and he's awful. One of the other things that I love historically is that Prince John and the King of France actually offered to pay something like 80,000 marks, so more than half of the ransom, if the Holy Roman Emperor agreed to just never let Richard go. Like, keep Richard forever. Here's 80,000 marks. And he turns it down because he would rather get the 150,000 payday from Richard. And not the least of which was because there was a caveat in there that Richard and his lands would effectively basically become part of the empire, which is a sore spot after he gets free. But for now, the relevant details, Richard's captured, Robin is in exile in Sherwood Forest, and there is just a political firestorm happening at home between the loyalists who are trying to free him and Prince John's men who very much want to be in charge and are keeping Richard out of the country. So here we go. Let's play Robin Hood. I'm so excited. All right. First things first, right off the bat, there he is. Here I am. look at this old. I love the pixelated art, but I also love these hand-drawn backgrounds. 90s point-and-click games are just the best. All right, let's see. Can't go anywhere without my trusty horn. How else am I going to summon my merry men? I also need to make sure I collect my money for the day. I'll count my money as I empty the chest. There's something about silver in a purse that makes a day seem brighter. All right. So your basic point-and-click interface, like a lot of Sierra games, you can walk, you can look, you can touch, you can talk. You have access to your inventory. But one of the things that makes this a little bit different is that in the King's Quest games, you're supposed to solve things creatively. Like, oh, I need to defeat this person by, finding this pouch of gems in the forest, and then I give him the gems, and he gives me a fiddle, and then I play the fiddle, and a door opens, and, you just kind of go around like that. Robin will straight up kill people. And it's one of the things that makes this game a little more serious than the other iterations of Sierra games, is that it's a little bit violent at times. Sometimes you have to just kill someone who's trying to hurt a peasant, and you're Robin Hood, so, you do what you do. It's, I remember it startled me the first time I played. But, all right, enough talk. Let us be on our way. Look at that smooth animation in that fine suit of Lincoln green. And if some point, chat will have to let me know whether the music's loud enough or not. It can go from being loud to not loud, but there really is some beautiful background music, and I want to make sure everyone can get that. All right, morning. We've all broken our fast. Perhaps Friar Tuck can share a fish. From the gaunt and starving look of our good friar, I fear you'll be left begging. I'll remember that jibe when it comes time to dole out the stew tonight. Mercy on me, Tuck, or I'll be too weak to play your favorite tunes. You know the old Norman saying, Alan, never make an enemy of the cook. I'm Robin Hood. I can see there's no point hanging around here and listening to these two prattle. I'll be in the glade practicing. What of you, Little John? I thought I'd head to the Overlook and see if anyone of interest comes along Watling Street. Tuck says our treasury could use a boosting. Is that true? Sorry to say it is, Robin. We're down to but a few hundred marks. Well, I'm off then. Join me there if you have a mind to. Friar Tuck is also my other favorite anachronism that shows up in the Robin Hood stories, because there were no friars at this point in England. Like, his existence is quite literally impossible. There are no friars at this point. That does not come until much later. But since so many of the early stories actually have Robin Hood set like 300 years later than when we tend to associate him, he has Friar Tuck in the correct time period, and then we've just slowly backed him up in time. So now that he's back in like the 12th century during the Crusades, and he's just sort of drug Friar Tuck with him backwards through time. He's just a happy little anachronism. All right, I want to try boosting the sound a little bit here. I don't think anyone can hear this fantastic soundtrack. Better. We must hope for a rich abbot or greedy baron to come along and replenish our treasury. Then you'd better spend some time on the Overlook watching the road, for you know John will tire of it soon enough. The other thing that is fun with this game is that the character portraits change based upon their mood. Like, that's not something that other Sierra games tend to do. And this one does. And so you'll notice like Robin's face will change depending upon the mood he's in and what he's saying. It's just a subtle little bit of visual cue for the gamer as to like what the tone is. All right, let's see what Alan Adale is up to. Pardon me, I'm just working on a song in honor of Tuck's fine cooking and I need to concentrate. Okay. You two do it. I'm off to explore Sherwood Forest. Will Scarlet said he's going to go practice his bow. Probably should do that. And I need to join Little John at the over... Oh, here we are. Hello, Master Hood. A glorious day for the bow. Who talks like that? I've set the garlands for practice. Come and join us. This new lad here is Simon, and he has yet to see a sample of your skills. 'Tis a fine day for shooting. Tell me what brings you to the forest, young Simon. I shot a rabbit and took it to my family for supper. I was going to make a pouch from the skin, but a forester saw it drying and saw the mark of the arrow in it. He wanted a bribe to pretend he hadn't noticed, but I was so angry I knocked him down. I was declared an outlaw the very same day, and my father bade me come to you and serve you. It was your father's idea? Nay, it was mine. I would have come at once, but I was afraid for my family. I wouldn't leave until my father ordered me to go. Will, are we... Aye, a couple of men are keeping an eye upon the lad's parents. Good. Then I make you welcome, Simon. If you can spear a rabbit with an arrow, you'll be a useful man indeed. I'll try, sir. Truly I will. Alright, I feel like I'm supposed to share the wealth here. Offer him. Let's see here. So I've got pennies, halfpennies, and farthings, which are quarter pennies. And that's what they would literally do, is actually, like, cut the coin. And that was a way, because it was actually minted out of precious metal and not just a representation of the wealth. Today, if you, like, rip a dollar bill in half, it's not worth 50 cents. That's not how that works. But once upon a time, that was where we got some of our currency, was they would just strike coins and then they would cut them. And then it would be like, here you go, half a penny. Like, okay. Let's give him a little half penny here and see what happens. But nay, I don't deserve. Come, lad, you're a member of the band now. Take the money. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, okay, good. I guess I was supposed to do that. If you ding and you get points, you're doing it right. Alright, let's, No! Ah, shoot. I accidentally opened up the map. Okay, let me go back to my camp. I was supposed to do some shooting. You've wasted no time devouring that fish, I see. I find that a full belly greatly improves the magnitude of my prayers and gives me one more thing to give thanks for. Oh, Friar Tuck. Alright, back to the shooting range. I need to practice. Because if it's a Robin Hood story, there's gonna be an archery contest, and it helps for me to have my skills up and going. Okay, well, alright, here we go. So the wind is going. We're going to watch the wind. Just inside the garland. Alright. Oh, the wind has died. Let's see if I can get some of these farther shots. Oof. Not quite as good. Let's see, what are we looking at? I hit the garland, which is nice. Alright, I'm at least hitting it. It's better to be in it, though. Oh, that one's a beautiful shot. Nice and dead center. Oh, the wind picked up right as I started. Oh, I'm all over the place. I'll collect my arrows before I fire again. Let's see here. Come on, wind. Come on, wind. I'm waiting on you. Perfect center. That's just great. Of course, that's also the easiest one. Let's move on. Let's move on. Come on, wind. Waiting on you to calm down just a tad. Too low. I gotta go higher. Okay, I can manage that. On wind. Poor Simon. I gave him money and then just wandered off. He never got to see me shoot. Alright, just inside the garland. Alright, good. I can work with that. It's nice to practice, figure out the game mechanics. Now. Alright, this is Twitch, so here we go. Let us go back to our map. A hidden camp within Sherwood. The widow dwells here. Near the River Trent is the sacred Willow Grove. Watling Street passes close by Nottingham, travels through Sherwood Forest, and thence to York in the north. Its most ancient of oaks is the soul of Sherwood Forest. The town of Nottingham. This is the monastery in the fens. Alright, so we got a couple different places here. This is the shield. Upon this shield is the device of the Sheriff of Nottingham, a raven. Upon King Richard the Lionheart's shields are 3 lions passant gardant. Alright, so if I go back to camp and walk west, I should get to Watling Street and the Overlook, which will give me what I need to start ambushing wealthy people coming down the road. I love these beautiful, just hand-drawn backgrounds. It's very peaceful here in Sherwood. Oh, there's Watling Street. Glad you decided to come. I saw a sheriff's man head up the road a while back. But I have a mind to go around to the widow's cottage and say hello to her sons before they leave for Nottingham again. You might want to stay and watch for the fellow to return, in case he's up to mischief. If he's a sheriff's man, he's up to mischief. Thanks for the warning. Mayhap I'll stop by and see the widow myself later on. She'd like that. So would the boys. Until later, then. Riveting dialogue. Oh. The peasant woman looks frightened. She's being pursued by one of the sheriff's men. Ah! Alright. It's time for action. Stand fast! Alright! What the hell does that mean? Alright! Move aside, I say, in the name of the Sheriff of Nottingham. Oh! Release the woman. She was basically pleading for her life, I'm pretty sure. She's my prisoner. Step aside, I say. Save me, I beg you. Let the woman go. Mike MVP, I used to love this game. Are you at the beginning? Yeah, first day. Very first day. What's it to you? She's only a peasant. It's first encounter on Watling Street. I've arrested her and she's coming with me. For what crime? Didn't pay her taxes. You've collected them thrice in 1 week. I just collect, I don't keep track. But don't worry, wench, I'll take payment in other than coin. Oh, so he's a bad guy. Lusting swine! Let her go! I arrest you for hindering the sheriff's justice. Surrender yourself. I love the, snidely whiplash. Accursed mountebank! Alright. he's arresting this woman for not paying exorbitant taxes, and now he's threatening me. There's only one way to solve this as Robin Hood. Oh, bless you, sir. To whom do I owe my salvation? You've surely heard the name of Robin Hood? Robin Hood! Then it's true what they say of you. You kill people in broad daylight. I shall be forever grateful. Love that pose. What shall we do with this worthless carrion? I care not. Drag him away for the wolves and ravens. Bless you and all your men. I must go now. Well, if she's been exorbitantly taxed, let's at least slip her a farthing. Wait! Accept this gift. Oh, you are so kind. I will light candles in your name at Mass. Bless you yet again. 'Tis my pleasure. Robin Hood giving money to the poor. She hurries down Watling Street as fast as her feet can carry her. So, we've it's day one, we've already killed one of the sheriff's men, and we've helped a nice peasant lady. And then I wasn't paying attention and I clicked through some of the dialogue, but I think we got the general gist of what just went down there. Let's go see the widow. Ah, it's the good widow and her 3 fine sons, Hal, Hob, and Dickon. Mother, it's Robin Hood. Good day to you. 'Tis good to see you again. If that tuck sent you to bother about the wool... Nay, he said nothing about it. Also, I love her music. Good. I told him I would have it soon enough. We're going to town today, master, if there's anything you need. I think not today, lads, but be careful. If the sheriff ever suspects you of helping the outlaws of Sherwood... Aye, he'll never catch us. We'll listen around and hear all kinds of things. Dickon, you heed the man. He's wiser than you. Aw, Mom. Don't worry, we'll keep the whelp under control. Fear not, Dickon. If ever I need a spy, I'll think of you. She's a handsome woman for her years, with wise and understanding eyes and a keen wit. Dickon is her youngest. Hob is the middle son. Hal is her eldest. I've a mind to have a word or two with that friar of yours. He's rather fond of food for a holy man. Indeed, his girth is nearly the match of his piety. It's about time someone asked my opinion around here. First off, this business with the wool. I mean, just as I've grown it all back, whoosh, off it gets shaved again. Not the least consideration for how I feel, but it gets worse. If I make the tiniest protest, that big brute Hal threatens to make mutton stew out of me. Fair frightens me out of my wits, he does. I always love the Easter eggs they put into these games. And, like, look at that background, right? Like, that's a gorgeous scene. Very minimal action, and yet just a couple of sprites moving gives you the sense of the smoke from the chimney, and then just a little color change makes the brook move, right? Like, that's just a little bit of shimmer in effect, and yet your mind goes right to a babbling brook. And look, I know, modern games look fantastic, and, you know, Red Dead 2, you could spend hours just taking in the sights, and awesome for that. Good on those programmers who are able to make those amazing looking scenes. There's something, though, about this that is just so appealing in its rusticness, because it's hand-painted. Exactly, Mike, right? This game is, this game came out in, like, 91, and then there were a couple patches So it's, yeah, this game is 30-something years old. And I love that. I mean, there's times when it obviously gives it away because the things that are interactable kind of stand out. And yet, you get to look at these beautiful painted landscapes and whatnot. Like, this is great. All right. Oh, each night after supper, as is our custom, we gather to speak of the day's events. Well, practiced my bow, killed a man, paid a peasant woman, feeling good. Fill my mug again, Tuck. As you wish, but what ails you? I've never seen you so deep in your cups. Why, 'tis the ale that ails him, but ails well that ends well, and... Stop blithering, Alan. I too wonder what troubles you, Robin. A strange melancholy came upon me tonight, unbidden. Perhaps an enemy has cast a spell on you. Shrive him, Tuck, quickly, in case he should die in his sleep. Fie, Will Scarlet, can't you find a way to cheer a man rather than frighten him? Another awesome game that I really loved that came out right before this one was Conquest of Camelot. Graphics weren't quite as good, and there was a lot of text typing, if I remember. Yep, that was the other Conquest game, was Camelot. You're King Arthur, and you're looking for the Holy Grail. I struggled with that one. I know full well the nature of this melancholy, for we all feel it from time to time. I've actually never defeated. I've never beaten Conquest of Camelot. I get lost, and I'm loath to look up how to walk through it. I want to figure it out, and I never have been able to. And one of the reasons I really liked this one was the text was replaced by the mouse clicker. I love the point and click system as opposed to the text interface. Knowing death waits in an arrow's flight, or worse yet, a rope's bite. Well, you're an outlaw. This is the life you've been forced to lead, Robin. A short life, but a merry one. That's the way of it. Aye, but don't you dream of living as free men, able to walk in town without fear, to love a woman knowing you could stay beyond morn? Aye, there's the nub of the matter. You need a good woman, Robin. I know this lass with huge tracts of land. Alan, you said I could meet her. Then I drink to your good fortune much. As for me, I'm off to bed. Now, let's see. Which way is it? Good night, lads. I'll assist Master Hood to his bed and see you on the morrow. For shame, Robin. Already deep in drunken slumber. Well, it's not my job to play nursemaid. I've delivered you to bed, and that's the end of it. Thanks, Little John. I'll just sleep this one off. Cast adrift, floating. A song upon the wind. Wind that rustles through leaves, calling me onward into a heart of green. A woman, as graceful as the willows which surround her, swaying to the music in the wind. She's gone, but there's something here, a glittering green stone where she stood. The willows, I hear them whisper her name. Marian, Marian. Come back, Marian. Come back to me. How my head aches! By the Blessed Lady, I swear I'll never seek to drown my melancholy in a cup again. Oh, my poor back. I must speak to Little John about leaving me to lie on my quiver all night. Is this the same dancing fairies music and animation? But that dream, that woman. From Quest for Glory, I think the music is a little similar. That first time you meet the fairies and dance around the mushroom ring with them. What's this in my hand? An emerald! Half of an emerald. The emerald! Now I can see its shape. Half a heart. Maybe I still dream. Nay, not with this pounding in my head. I must be well and truly awake. Boy, that's the kind of dream I want to have. You go to bed and you wake up with an emerald in your hand. Somehow I must find this Marian and learn the meaning of the emerald. Aye, and see if she is as beautiful as I dreamed. I mean, look, Disney's guilty of that. Recycling animations left and right because it was just cheaper and easier than drawing new things from scratch. But, like, there's a ton of scenes from the old movies that are just, like, shot-for-shot copies of the other ones. Ah, so you live after all. Morning is nearly gone, and we'd about given you up for dead. For all the tender care you showed me last night, I might well have been. You look a bit worse for wear, but you have an odd light in your eyes. I had a dream, Tuck. Not to wonder, inspired by such mighty draughts of grog as you consumed. Let him tell it, Alan. Do your ears never tire of your wagging tongue? There was a woman with raven hair and a dress that moved like a white flame. I've never seen such a beautiful maid. Why, I have dreams like that all the time. Did I tell you the one I had about the 3 red-haired girls who... Hush, Alan, this is no jest to me. She danced in a willow grove, then she disappeared. The willows whispered the name Marian. Where she had stood, I saw an emerald. I bent to pick it up, and I awoke. That's a pretty enough dream, but what of it, Robin? It's only a dream. Then explain you this. Palm emerald. By my troth, a real emerald. What do you say now? I say you should have more dreams like this, and we'll all be rich. This dream has come to me for a purpose. I'll meet this maiden today, I'm sure of it. Robin, I'm glad you're finally up. I've just gotten an urgent message from a friend in town. There's a man who's helped us many times with information. A cobbler by the name of Lob. Lob the cobbler? He sent word that he must speak to you, and he wishes you to seek him out in Nottingham. Let him come to the forest if the matter's so urgent. I'm Robin Hood. I know of this Lob. He's a good man. If he asks you to come to him, there must be a reason. But that's not all. But wait, there's more. First, he said it concerns the fate of King Richard. What does he mean? If he has news of our king... I know only what my friend told me, and secondly, that Lob demands you bring a lady's slipper to prove your identity. A lady's slipper? What an odd request. Why, there's nothing to it, Robin. Have a few more grogs and dream one up. Little John, would you take yonder pup and dunk him in a stream for me? Surely, master. Nay, I desist. I give you my word. Oh, medieval humor. What do you advise, Will? That you go to this Lob as he asks. But even if Robin had a slipper, he cannot walk into Nottingham without being hanged upon the spot. Natheless, I must find a way. Let me think on it. As you will, master. We all have tasks of our own, but we'll think upon it as well. I do love how the little daily briefings give you your, like, tasks for the day, since you don't actually have, like, a quest book that you can open and look at. I'm supposed to find Marian, since I believed in my dream that I would see her today, and I'm supposed to find something that would help me get into town. So, first things first, we're going to look for Marian. Sacred Willow Grove, which is where we saw her dancing. So this is as good a place as any to start. The willows form a living green temple. There is no answer. Alright, let's walk around the grove a little bit and see what we find. Marian, Marian. Now I've got the song from Men in Tights stuck in my head. Oh, I'm back where I started. Okay. That was a weird little circle I went in, but okay. Keep strolling around. Walking around through Sherwood. Looking for a lady's slipper and clothes to get me into Nottingham. Whoa! It's going down! Help me! Help! 'Tis her, the woman I dreamt of! Dog of a monk, let her go! Be gone, or I'll kill you too. Well, we know how Robin would solve this. I love this scream. Ah! Thank you, bold outlaw. Another boon I would ask of you. You have but to name it. I must find your leader. Oh, Robin Hood. You need seek no further. I am Robin Hood. Clicked a little fast there. Then you are all I had hoped you would be. Oh, this is going very fast. What is it that you hoped? I came to see and judge you, for I must decide if you are a man we can trust. This slipper is your first reward, and there may be other rewards if you are wise enough to earn them. Now I must go. Wait, stay and speak with me a whiles. I dare not. My enemies must have seen me enter the forest. I must go. Thank you again for my life. She rides swiftly away before I could ask about my dream. Wow, my first meeting with Marian was loaded with innuendo. But we'll meet again, my lovely Marian, for I've many a sweet reward in mind. Alright, well, let's collect that slipper. He is, beyond a doubt, demised. The monk's evil staff lies where it fell. I'll not touch the cursed thing that dared to strike my beauteous Marian. Pick his pockets. The robe is no use to me. Covered with blood as it is, I'd only arouse suspicion and questions if I were to wear it. 'Tis odd that he carries no pouch, but I can find nothing of value upon him. Check him one more time. I've already searched his body and found nothing of use. All right. Well, then let's get the boys to take care of him. Love that pose. Master, what's happened here? I see a monk adorned with your fletching. Aye, he was trying to kill the very woman I saw in my dream. But the lady, she wasn't hurt. Nay, she rode away after tossing me her slipper. A slipper, such as Lob requires you to bring? Surely this is more than mere chance. If so, the sooner I devise a way to enter Nottingham and see Lob, the sooner I'll learn more of her. As for the monk's body, we'll see to it, Robin. I kill him, they bury him. It's good to be in charge. We'll give him a proper Christian burial for all that he was probably a sinner and unshriven. No need to wait for us, Robin. We'll take care of this. I'll say a few words over him, though I fear his doom is already set. Okay. Well then, if you guys are going to do that, I'm going to go to the Overlook. Oh, nope, never mind. The rest of the day seemed empty indeed without Marian in it. I was glad for nightfall, and my men listened with interest to all I had to tell of the lady. It is my way to share knowledge freely with my men, that they may advise me better when action must be taken. Foreshadowing. I see you've wisely refrained from filling your mug more than once this eve. Aye, too much grog is like sleeping with one's head beneath a smith's anvil. No more wish for dreams then, master? What need have I for dreams when I've seen the dream herself in the flesh? That's Robin's happy face. Look at him. I must learn more about her. Women can wait. There's Lob's business to deal with. Aye, yet somehow the two are linked. You dare not show your face within the walls dressed as an outlaw. Still, I must find a way. We shall see what the morrow brings. Alright. We're, 2 days, 2 dead people. We're really racking up the bodies here. Oop, don't see anybody. Let us, check on. There's a new strain in the widow's face. I fear she worries about her sons. Begging your pardon, Robin, but I'd best keep my mind on what I'm doing. Bear? No one at the Grove today. Let's go to the Overlook and see who comes down Watling Street. Ah. Can't get over these paintings. They look great. Oh. Ah. A hunchback beggar lurches his way down Watling Street. How fortuitous. Merry morning to you. Where are you bound? Oh, I'm in the way of the beggar. There he is. To Nottingham. I hear it prospers, and a beggar must follow the clink of coins, eh? Have you a bit of charity for a wretched hunchback, sir? I've known some beggars whose purses were heavier than mine. I'm Robin Hood. Alas, sir, not I. That's why I travel to Nottingham, in hopes of changing my poor luck. And if I demand a toll of you to pass along this road, then I must turn back the way I came. But I've no food or water and would suffer greatly. Come, I'm poor pickings for a bold man such as you. Let me go my way. His tattered rags, filthy face, wretched hump, and stumbling walk are the marks of a man who knows the begging trade well. You're not a small man. Your clothes would fit me well enough. My rags? When you have that fine suit of Lincoln green? Aye, you make a jest of my lot, sir. Not at all. Who takes notice of a beggar, eh? You can come and go as you please. Most of the time. Aye, a set of rags can cover many secrets, that's what I'm thinking. Sir, I'm but a humble beggar. Whatever ye be thinking is above my wretched head. I'm thinking that you'll give me those rags you wear, aye, even down to that false hump upon your back. But they're all I have. How could I earn a living? What would I wear? You ask far too much from one with far too little. Alright, so it's negotiation time. Because I'm Robin, I'm not just going to take this guy's clothes, because I robbed from the rich, not the hunchback beggars. So we're going to pay this dude. Ugh. What on earth? What do you give a beggar for his clothing in order to let him start over? A half penny? I'm not giving him a full penny, that's exorbitant. Let's give him a half penny. Much obliged, sir. Much obliged. May the Lord grant you a high seat in heaven. Not so quickly, my friend. For my price, I want you to give me those clothes you wear. What? You truly want these old rags? But what earthly use? Worry not about my reasons. Will you be content with that money, and an extra purse, and a new set of clothes besides? Sir, I would be more than content. Okay, good. I was worried I'd cheated him. For such a bargain you may have rags, hump, and all. I'll even teach you a few tricks. No need, friend beggar. I've enough tricks of my own. Time for the horn. He's gonna do it! He's gonna do it! I love this game. Men, give this jolly fellow a new suit of clothes and a purse of pennies, enough to see him well on his way back north. North? North. Ooh, that's his serious face. Ooh. Oh, of course. North, as you say. Cheer up, my friend. I'll not set you on the road without comfort. Tuck, you'll blindfold him and lead him to our camp where he may have food and water for his journey. Will, you're to take my own garb and weapons and put them into my cave. And now, friend beggar, let us change clothes. Faith, you make a fine beggar, Robin, as twisted and wretched as I've ever seen. Thank ye kindly. See that our friend here receives all he was promised. I'll see to it. Happy begging, master. And now that I'm dressed up like a wretched beggar, it's off to Nottingham! Boom! On our way. We're going to go see Lob. We're going to find out what this slipper business is about. I might snoop around. I should probably save before I get myself killed. Alright. So there's only 4 places of importance here. The castle, the pub, the cobblers, and St. Mary's. You know what? Let's have some fun here. The abbot has labored long to build this grandiose facade for his abbey. Or rather, he has made many a poor peasant labor for him upon pain of excommunication. Oh, that's not nice. And he's well known for cheating the stonemasons and craftsmen. Bastard. Let me see if I can, maybe I can successfully beg some money for the cause out of the abbots. Have ye charity for a poor old beggar? A dry crust of bread, a bowl of soup. Oh, I spelled beggar wrong in my save file. How do I have a doctorate? Good heavens. There's nothing for you here. Be on your way. Oh. The cold-hearted monk refuses to open the door to me again. Wow. Okay. I guess all aren't welcome at God's house. Let's go to the pub. See if there's any begging to be had at the pub. The sheriff's men know where good ale is to be found. He has a stern face and gruff manner. Ah, it's a bucket lowered on a rope through a hole in the sandstone roof. Innkeeper, what's the meaning of the lowered bucket? The soldiers lower it from the castle walls with money in it, and I fill it with ale, which they haul back up. Have you no charity in your heart? Aye, for those who deserve it. Ooh, ouch! I mean, I probably should limit talking to sheriff's men as much as possible. Alright. This sheriff's man has the look of an experienced fighter. I must be cautious. Charity, good sir. Charity for the wretched and afflicted. Ha! I'll show you afflicted. Yow! He kicked me! He kicked me! What on earth is that about? Wow, okay. It's a duck. Please don't mention duck soup to me. Are you going to feed me? Well, who needs you then? Bugger off. I've better things to do than catch cats. Judging from the bits of thread and needles stuck through her apron, I would say this woman is a tailor. Fie, don't you be coming to me unless you've got the money for a new suit of clothes hidden in them rags. I do believe you've been patched so many times the cloth is gone and naught but the patches is left. I'm trying to think, is there anything I could possibly need from her? I don't think so. Let's go see this lob fellow. The shop is open. I can glimpse a workbench and leather tools within. Let's go see this. Oh, the cat. The cat's in the way. I'm tripping over the cat. Ah, may I help you? I must decide if I can trust this cobbler. He looks an honest enough fellow, if looks can be trusted. Don't be fooled by this disguise. Oh, so you just decided to trust him. Like, you went from, I must decide, to, I'm going to straight up tell you my name. I'm Robin Hood, and I've come as you asked. Eh? Are you Attila the beggar? But I am Robin Hood. You sent for me. Poor man. What a strange delusion afflicts you. Careful and cautious is our cobbler. Have a slipper. What a fine slipper. You, were given this? Indeed, by a vision of beauty named Marian. Shh! Never speak her name aloud here. Call her only the lady if you must mention her at all. Please, come with me. Oh, cutscene! Forgive my caution, but the sheriff has spies everywhere, and I need to be sure of you. So, you are the infamous Robin Hood. None other. Are we holding hands on the table? Your disguise is, interesting. It serves its purpose, but the sooner I'm rid of it, the better. I've risked much to come here, Lob. Your pardon. I'll speak swiftly and to the point. Though you're known as an outlaw, it is also said you swear fealty to King Richard. As God is my witness, I am the king's loyal and devoted servant. I was unjustly outlawed through treachery. Those who abuse their high offices with corruption and greed are my enemies, not Richard the Lionheart. But what of the king? Have you news? Is he free yet? That, alas, is why I've called you. Good Queen Eleanor labors to raise the 100,000 gold marks that is the ransom fee, but has yet been unable to raise the full amount. Whew, there we go. Prince John employs all means of political betrayal, bribery, and outright theft to see that his brother is never released. Shrivel his black soul. To the abbot, Prince John is entrusting a treasure of 50,000 marks. Oh. which he has diverted away from the queen and into his own pocket. This treasure will be sent from York, which means it must travel here along Watling Street, if it could be captured. By the Virgin, it shall not leave Sherwood Forest except to be delivered to the Queen. It is as I hoped. You may be the only man in all of England who can bring about the king's release. When will this treasure be sent, and how come you to know so much of these matters? I am but a humble servant of the Queen, as is the Lady Marian. Though Lady Marian is, human, well, I shall leave it to the lady how much you learn of her. As for the treasure, I must leave tomorrow and travel to York to learn what I can. I'll send warning of their departure date to you through Lady Marian. Then I will see more of her. Ooh. Indeed, I clicked too fast. She what? You will learn what you will learn. Take this silver comb. When you give this to her, she'll know we have spoken, and that you've joined us to save the king. I could do nothing else. Where does Marian live? You will never seek her out in the town. Never! That is far too dangerous for you both. She'll await you in her sacred place, the Willow Grove upon the river. Ah, the place of the dream. Beg pardon? Nothing. Give the Queen my word. I will seize this treasure in her name, and as much other ransom as I can raise beside. Bless you, and Godspeed you on your mission. Alright, so we have our overarching quest. We are to help free Richard by raising the money for his release. And by Queen Eleanor, that would be the Queen Mother. That is not Richard's wife, but that would be his mother. So she is endeavoring to raise the sum to free her son, and her other son is being kind of a bastard about it, which John is in the way, diverting money mostly for his ransom so that he can pay to keep Richard locked up. And since it always, in the modern tellings, Richard gets back and like, ha, John, I banish you, you're awful. Again, this was just kind of business. Richard gets back, and John's like, yeah, you know, I did what I did, what of it? And so Richard just names him his heir, and he's like, all is forgiven, right? We're family, ha ha ha. Which is why John later becomes king. And it's just a whole John Lackland, who then goes on to have a pretty unillustrious military career. All right, time for me to be on my way. I hurried eagerly to my camp as night fell. I had much to tell my men, but in truth I was most eager of all to rid myself of the beggar's accursed rags and to stand straight again. Phew! The stench of those burning rags does nothing to improve my digestion. Perhaps I should have saved the beggar's garb instead of burning it, although it was falling apart already. Nay, I'm glad to see it burn. I swear, in one day of wearing those tatters, I've gained 1,000 flea bites. Tell us again of this treasure. It comes down Watling Street? When? How will it be guarded? Lob must learn all of this and pass the information to us when the time is right. Patience, John. Our chance to serve the king will come. Nor will I count only upon this treasure. I'll gather other ransom by whatever means I can. You pursue 2 treasures, eh, master? For on the morrow you may at last exchange more than a fleeting word with this dream maiden of yours. 2 treasures indeed. Aye, and though I love my king, I shall not say which treasure I pursue with more eagerness. Ha ha ha. I'm Robin Hood. Alright. Let's see here. Ooh. Let us be on our way. Morning, Will. Any news? All's quiet. John might be at the Overlook. I'll be about if you need me. All's quiet. Well, then that means let us go and, There's a new strain in the widow's face. I fear she worries about her sons. Okay, begging your pardon, Robin, but I best keep my mind on what I'm doing. So nothing new from her. Does she need money? And she's a widow living alone in the forest. We're doing well enough. Save your coins for those who truly need them. Alright, can do. Oh, there she is! Marian! Bring no weapons into this sacred place. If you wish it, my lady, I will gladly lay them down. I'm most pleased to see you again. I beg you to stay longer this time. That will depend upon you, for I've yet to decide if I may fully trust you. Well, then I should definitely tell her I dreamt about her. There are so many things I wish to know about you. There will be time for that later, if I decide to trust you. Well, let's see. She gave me a slipper, and Lob gave me a comb. The comb is proof that I'm part of her team. So you have spoken to Lob. He wouldn't have given you this token unless you'd agreed to join us. Marian, I love my king as well as any loyal subject. I'll do everything in my power to save him and to raise as much ransom as I can. Seizing the stolen treasure that Prince John sends to the abbot will be more than enough. Of course, sweet lady, but you'll not begrudge me the thought of raising more if the means presents itself. I like not that you think only of stealing. You wound me! I steal only from those corrupted curs who grow fat upon the suffering of others. Then, noble Robin, I beg your pardon and urge you to be a wolf among curs, that we may save a lion. But now I must speak more seriously. The prince suspects that we move against him. He has many spies watching the queen and those who serve her, so we must act with great caution. What do you know of the monks from the fens, such as the one who attacked me? Little enough, save that for that one deed alone they've earned my hatred. They're hand-picked men who serve Prince John. Each was a soldier. John has bidden them to form a monastic order to cover their true dealings in his behalf. Already they've stolen an object that is vital to my plans. I must have it back before we can make another move. She needs her scroll. What is it? A simple scroll upon which is drawn the outline of a hand. So your text, oh my gosh, I can't turn off the teacher in me. Your manual talks about this. There's a diagram of a hand. This is of such import that we must have it. And you literally can't play the game without this diagram. It is one of those means of copy protection that used to exist. I wouldn't ask it otherwise. But it also means that you have to have the manual handy in order to play the game unless you've memorized the hand code. Then I'll fetch it back for you. I cannot tell you how glad you make me, for I despaired of ever finding a way. Don't worry, a monk will come down Watling Street, I'm sure. I'll take his robes and be on my way. Glad enough to reward me with a kiss? Robin, you rogue. Perhaps, when you've earned one. When you have the hand scroll, return here. I'll be waiting. Nice. And P.S., I dreamt of you and found this. Blessed lady, how did you come by this? I dreamt of you. You danced in a circle within this very grove. You saw the spiral dance? When you reached the center, you vanished and left this behind. I awoke and found it clutched in my hand. You're trembling. I don't mean to frighten you. It was you. I also dreamt, but I couldn't see you. I danced and felt you watching, but I wasn't afraid. Oh, maybe you should be. Random stranger watching you dance in the woods. I felt they were the eyes of my true love. Aw. Ever since I saw you, I hoped. You see, I also found a token when I awoke. And mine is half a heart, like yours, but made of diamond. Look. Ba 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 ba! They fit! Two become one, made whole. It's beautiful. Did you create this? It can only be a gift from the blessed Lady, the Virgin Queen of Heaven, whom I serve. I'm a priestess of the ancient powers. I dance the spiral dance for the health and regeneration of the forest. Did you feel the renewing force of the emerald and diamond joined? Together, they could heal any hurt. Oh, that's good information. We need to remember that. We have a healing token with us. I felt it, as surely as I feel my love for you. Will you pledge yourself to me, Marian? By these tokens of love, I plight my troth to you. But the fulfillment of our love must wait. Before an outlaw and forest priestess can be free to marry, King Richard must return. I fear you're right. I can offer you neither home nor safety unless I can win the king's pardon. Your love is all I ask. Guard the emerald. Keep it safe. 'Tis half my own heart you have in your hands. I must go now. Be most careful in dealing with those monks. I'll pray for your success. That's one of the other things I think I love about this telling of Robin Hood is this kind of fun blending of Christianity, like obvious Christian overtones, with druidic paganism. And to have sort of that terminology is very druid. Talking about, Queen of Heaven and things like that. But also Blessed Virgin is obviously talking about Mary. And so you have this sort of, this combination of not conflicting, but compatible belief systems and a spirituality alongside the religiousness. And it's it's nice. It's a neat bit of world building that makes this feel fleshed out and real, which I really kind of like. It's a neat take that you don't always get from this genre. All right, so I not only have a mission from Marian, I now have a girlfriend. We're really coming up in the world. Let us be on our way. Let's go to Watling Street and see what opportunities are presented to us. Oh! One of the sheriff's men preys upon a helpless peasant. I know what to do! To the rescue! Hold! I would know why this man is bound. It's none of your affair, but he's a poacher. Hurrah! I know you! You're Robin Hood. Show this bully behind me who's the true master of Sherwood Forest. Shut up, you, or I'll kill you now and save myself a lot of trouble. Robin Hood, eh? Your head'll fetch me a fine reward. 'Tis your head that's in greater peril. All you outlaws are cowards. Do you think I'd run from the likes of you? Not when it takes such great courage to arrest a man whose only crime is hunger. That's Robin's serious face. He killed one of the king's deer. The law says he must die. It's the sheriff's greed and the illegal taxes he collects that drive the people to such desperate measures. Pah! What do I care? I order you to surrender yourself at once. Just want to make sure I don't screw this up. I trust you, Robin Hood. Do what you must. Shut up. Release your prisoner. Put down your bow, and maybe I'll let you live long enough to be hanged. By my troth, you're the most arrogant of all the sheriff's men I've ever encountered, and the rest of them are dead. And that is very arrogant indeed. And you're nothing but a mewling, milk-sucking outlaw. 'Tis my guess you seek to provoke me into a mistake. Aye, better than standing here all day, but hear this. If you knock an arrow at me, I'll just step behind this man and let him take it instead. No archer can be quicker than that. You think not? It means only that you've never faced Robin Hood. And hiya! By the Virgin, that was masterly shooting! Yes, it was! Killed my third man. Hold still, fellow. I'll have you untied in a trice. I will, believe me. What shooting! I'll never forget this day. He's gonna blow it. He's gonna blow the horn. I thank you heartily. Is it safe to return for my dear? You'd best not return. We know better how to smuggle such a thing close to town. Here he goes. He's gonna do it. I'm so glad the Merry Men are always within horn blast. Like, they're able to show up like that. It's like a cell phone. Ba-ba-ba. Lads, this fellow's had a lucky day, saved from a poacher's fate. Will some of you now help him bring his deer to his family? Will and I will fetch the deer, Robin. But what of this other carrion? Though he scarcely deserves it, bring a shroud and bury him. 'Tis the only Christian thing to do. Fie, he's on his way to Hades anyway. Well, leave it to us. Thank you again. I can't wait to tell my wife. Wait, Mr. Poacher. Take a farthing for the road. One more thing. Take this money to forestall another trip into the forest. Thank you, Robin Hood. Alas, I fear that as long as the sheriff imposes his high taxes, I'll have to keep poaching. I'll do what I can to change that. If ever I can be of service to you, you have but to ask. Alright, saved another person from the sheriff. I'm giving out a lot more money than I'm taking in, but that's okay. That's part of the goal. I'm going to score. He's broken into a run and plunges into the forest, no doubt to take a shortcut home. I'm no doubt going to get my hands on some nice juicy change. Guess got to rob a fat baron or a rich abbot. Supper was a ribald affair. The lads pressed me shamelessly to tell all. Well, treasure seeker, you've been uncommon quiet upon the lady's virtues now that you've truly met her. Aye, you've told us of this mission you must undertake, and the odd scroll she wants you to find. But of Marian herself you say nothing. Perhaps he knows you'd wrap it into some bit of bawdy nonsense, using song and lute to torment us, as indeed you do each night. Why, you pizzle-nosed wretch, I could sing the angels down from the heavens, and the skirts over a wench's head. What is this dialogue? Yet for all my skill I could not charm a maid to glance twice at you, and you, eaten with envy at my boyish looks and honeyed voice. Envy of a beardless bardling who crows like a scrawny rooster. Cease, lads! If I say naught of Marian, 'tis only because words fail me. She is beauty beyond poem or song. Whatever she asks, I will do. Odds blood, this sounds serious, lads. Our Robin is well and truly smitten. A toast to your mission, then, with all the rewards that success may bring. Ooh, that's a loaded toast. All right. We're making progress here. Top of the morning to you. Where's Tuck? Is there no breakfast? He's gone off to visit the widow, yet again. He claims he's only interested in her wool, but I suspect he's doing a bit of wool gathering, if you know what I mean. At any rate, you're on your own. Ta! Alright, well, we need to worry about this treasure that's going to be sent down Watling Street. I need to find a way to infiltrate the fens. So I need disguises, and I need more money. If I keep giving my hot pennies and my farthings to every idiot who wanders down Watling Street, I'll go broke. And as an outlaw, I can't stand being broke. So I got to find a way to raise cash. So let us check in on the Friar. And then let us go to the Overlook and see what happens. Uh-oh. Music change. Robin, I was about to go for you. What luck that you've come. What is amiss? Good woman, why do you weep so? Oh, my heart, if they hang my beautiful boys, it will burst of grief. Her sons were arrested, all three of them. Someone betrayed them to the sheriff. I swear by the Virgin Mary, I'll do all in my power to save your sons from the hangman's rope. Sons? Sons is how we say it in English. I cannot speak. Oh, my sons, my beautiful sons. You go ahead. The widow needs my comfort for a short while yet. Alright, so we have 2 missions on top of everything else we're doing now. We also have to rescue these guys. Oh, we've got people coming and going on Watling Street. There's a monk from the Abbey of St. Mary's and one of the militant monks from the monastery. Here we go. See who we confront. You blocked my way, friend. Aye, so I do. Move aside. And if I do not? Since you seem determined to block my way, what is it you want? I'm not a common outlaw. I'm Robin Hood. I know of you. It would serve my master well to have you dead. Name your master. Prince John, he who deserves to rule. Traitorous dog, Richard is our king. Not for long. And when Prince John takes the crown, then you outlaws will know the true meaning of fear. He'll not rest until he's hunted down every last one of you and set you to dancing at the end of a rope. Not even this forest will be large enough to hide you from his wrath. That day will never come. As for what I want, your robe and whatever you carry upon you. By the Trinity, I'll give you nothing but the wrap of my staff upon your skull. Alright. I seem to remember this part was actually a little hard. We're gonna figure out how to get this guy's stuff. Remove your robe and turn over your possessions now, or I will kill you. Took it up a notch. I fear nothing but the judgment of God. I loathe a dishonorable death, but you're a dishonorable foe. You dare! You have a longbow and I a staff. You call this an even match? I challenge you to combat with the quarterstaff. I accept. Yeah, we'll do this honorably, and when I still beat you, then you're gonna feel dumb. What is this? I must have a quarterstaff that is equal to your own. Fortunately, Little John carries one. Here we go. What is it, master? Does this monk trouble you overmuch? Little John, will you lend me your quarterstaff? This monk has challenged my honor. Gladly will I lend it to you. All right, here we go. Gonna put down the bow, put down the arrows, and then a weird arcade fight is about to start that I have to win, but I don't really remember how. Ah! Ow! Oh, he jumped it. Ow! He sure is giving me like a walloping. Why can't I hit him? Oh, there we go. Got him. Got him again. Oh, got him a third time. Oh, he ducked it. Ow! No! I needed the overhead shot. Come on, get him. No, I'm dead. Robin Hood is dead. Death to all outlaws. By all that is holy, I'll avenge my master this day. You'll fight until not a one of us is left standing, or your blood covers the ground. I trow, Little John, there is none that can best you with the quarterstaff. How could I fail, for I had Robin's death to avenge? Now that it's avenged, we must choose a new leader. I say let it be you. I could not take his place. Ah, no one can. Someone must, or we'll be sitting around here like this forever. There's no use going to pieces. Pull yourself together and start again. Alright. So here we go. Let's go through this whole sequence. Move your possessions or I'll kill you. Quarterstaff, you're dishonorable. I accept your challenge. Let's get the gang all here. And figure out... Something about I click on myself and I block. I click on him, then I swing. But if he blocks it, he then gets a free shot at me. I don't really understand the fight. The manual has a whole thing about quarterstaff combat, but mostly I just remember if you click on him, eventually you beat him. Or you don't. Little John, need the quarterstaff. Here we go. Alright, let's try this again. Oh, hit him! Hit him a couple times. Nope, that time he blocked. Ow! Nope. Turn off my numlock. Ow! Got him. Oh, down he goes. He fought well, but not well enough. Your final blow was so strong, it broke his staff. Well, that's unfortunate. Aye, that was bad luck. I'll have to make do with his robe and whatever he's carrying. Rest yourself, Robin. We'll remove the robe, and when you've changed, I'll take your clothes and weapons to your cave. You look the part, Robin, even without a staff. But surely you could have kept Little John's. Nay, he values it too highly. It'll be my wits that keep me alive, not a staff. Then you're poorly armed indeed. 'Tis better than not being armed at all like you. Be off with you, rascal. Why, these guys are cold to each other. Their jibes and barbs cut deep. Alright. Not going through that sequence again, so we're going to save Twitch staff. We beat him. Now... let's see, what do we have? A reed made from a marsh reed. It's a whistle made from a marsh reed, which the Fens monk was carrying. It's the Fen monk pouch. The monk's pouch contains 9 gemstones. Okay, here's one of those copyright things. I can't beat this if I don't have access to the gemstones part of the manual. So what we are going to do is I got to pull that up and keep it handy on my other screen here. Gotta get the manual. All right. Do. Okay, come on, open up, and there we go. Alright, there's the whole PDF, although it's rotated. Okay, there we go, fixed it. There we go, gemstones. So there's agate, turquoise, sapphire, carnelian, lapis lazuli, amber, jet, opal, and quartz. And each one has like 4 or 5 different characteristics. So I have to play the game of gemstones here in order to not die at the hands of the evil monks. A grim, well-built Norman fortress of stone, converted by this order of militant monks into a monastery. The fens are surrounded by boggy ground. It would be dangerous to tread too far from the safety of the path. Let us be about its business. The fog grows ever thicker. It would be easy to become lost within. The Normans built well. It would take a mighty army and a long siege to overcome such a place. There we go. Good. Wrong button. Okay. Well, faith, that is dark and unwholesome water, just deep enough to drown a man. I'm not going to go swimming, so what do you say we summon a boat? I hear something coming through the fog. I heard your signal, brother, but I don't know your face. Have you newly joined our order? Aye, and I've been sent to serve here. Step in then, and be seated. I'll take you across. Alright, well that was easy. It's a neat little cutscene here. Taking me through the foggy fens to the militant monastery. It looked like he was going to fall for a second there. That was good. All right. The monk blocks my way. Clearly, I must somehow pass him to enter the monastery. I have business inside. Let me pass. You are new, brother. Therefore, you must prove yourself. I must have the tokens you bear for the guardian of the gate. This is the first token. I await the rest. Alright, and here's where it begins. The Gemstone Game. I accept your tokens, brother. Now you must prove your knowledge of the lore of the gemstones. This is the way of it. I will pose you 3 riddles. There are 3 stones which you must choose to answer each riddle. If you are right, you will pass in safety. If you are wrong, commend your soul to God, for you will die here. Here is the first riddle. Sadness weighs upon my soul. My heart aches to be filled. Would that I could steal into my lover's chamber unseen. Okay, so sadness weighs upon my soul. My heart aches to be filled. Would that I could steal into my love's chamber unseen. Let's take a look at the stones and figure out what we're dealing with here. Agate has the power of divine attraction. It will pull objects toward the sky. It cures lunacy. It cures melancholy. Okay, so that's very likely my first one. If sadness weighs upon my soul, then is it agate or agate? I actually don't know my stones very well. But that cures melancholy. My heart aches to be filled. Turquoise brings luck. Warns of danger. Keeps horses from becoming lame. Sapphire cures boils, preserves chastity, preserves secrets, cures disease of the eye, no. Carnelian suppresses blood from wounds, it grants heart's desires. Oh. Actually, so agate and carnelian sounds like. Lapis lazuli, power of water, cures diseases of the eye. Amber cures fever, cures blindness and deafness. Jet controls demons, averts the evil eye, cures snakebite. Opal forecasts death. Oh, and opal makes the wearer invisible. Okay. I think it's got to be... Your first choice is correct. Now two more. The second stone is correct because it grants my heart's desire. And then opal lets me be invisible. Good, here is the second riddle. I have 3 fears. I fear traveling by ship. I fear my wife will be unfaithful. I fear the lies of men. What should I take with me? Alright, traveling by ship. Lapis lazuli symbolizes the power of water. I bet that would help. I fear my wife will be unfaithful. Amber can make a woman confess her sins. So lapis lazuli and amber. And then lastly, I fear the lies of men. Ooh, wait, no. Sapphire preserves chastity. I fear my wife will be unfaithful. Sapphire will keep her, and it preserves secrets. Okay. Lapis lazuli, sapphire. Ooh, gosh. Quartz draws down fire from the heavens, quenches thirst. It's poison. Lapis lazuli is the stone of truth. Okay. Is it lapis lazuli, sapphire, and lapis lazuli again? Stone of truth, sapphire. Agate protects sailors at sea. It's gotta be... My first choice is correct. Then... Sapphire preserves chastity. Haha. And then... Lapis lazuli is the stone of truth. Well done, brother. Here is the final riddle. I'm so good at this. 7 years of grad school wasn't for nothing. I'll build a ship to carry me skyward. If it falls, I'll not be harmed. But I will never tell how it is done. What do I have? So once again, it's agate. Has the power of divine attraction and will pull objects towards the sky. So that's the ship. If it falls, I'll not be harmed because turquoise protects from injuries by falling. But I will never tell how it's done. And that is because sapphire preserves secrets. So it's going to be 1, 2. I'm the smartest man alive! I'm never gonna die! Welcome in, brother. Good thing I studied my gemstones, aka kept the manual handy. Oh, okay. Okay. Hold on. Save. I'm gonna overwrite that. because I don't want to have to deal with that again. The prior and other monks are in this refectory. Okay. It's an empty room. It seems to be used as a kitchen, but is as barren and uninviting as the rest of this dreary place. The prior and the other monks are in this refectory. I know. I don't recognize you. Ah! Oh my gosh, am I the prior? I don't recognize you. Who are you? I am Brother Eustace. And what do you do here, Brother Eustace? Oh, and what do you here, Brother Eustace? I think I'm the prior. Oh, I've joined the order, darn it. Then you're welcome, Brother Eustace, if you can fight. There's not a one of us that wasn't a soldier before we donned the black robes. There are those with good cause to fear the skill of my arm, your worship, or I would not be wearing this robe. Good. We'll have to put it to the test soon. Have you sworn to obey the vows of our order? Oh, I've made many a solemn oath. Never fear. Have a care, Brother Eustace. Your tongue is a mite slippery for a man who has sworn humility and obedience. Please pardon me, your worship. Very well, but we are strict here. Any infraction is punished with lashings. Remember that. They all look the same with the hood over their heads. The Normans who built this fortress must have left behind this effigy of a Norman knight. Silence is better than talk, brother. All right. So I had in Shapir, I'm a blacksmith, Isher, and here I'm the prior of the monastic order. Why do they keep making all the unpleasant characters bald with goatees? Feels like I'm being targeted. I feel very seen right now. The door to this tower is locked. I have a hunch the prior lives here. The prior is within, surrounded by torture devices, with his unfortunate victim strung up on one of them. Oh. Answer me. Speak or I'll put weights on your feet and rip your arms from their sockets. Ahem. Pah! I tell you, Brother Eustace, I've never seen a more stubborn, stupid creature than this miserable dwarf. Aye, he does look miserable. I've wasted enough time here. You're to stand guard and increase his pain in any way you can. When he's ready to talk, send for me. I'll be in the scribe's room. By the Blessed Lady, what terrible pain he must be suffering. The dwarf is in too much agony to speak. Alright, well, let's fix that. Let's help him. Look at all the rats. I can't pull on his body without causing him worse pain than he already suffers. Connected to here. Use the ropes. You set me free. If the prior bade you shrivel his black soul, I'm no servant of his. Such kindness makes you a giant among men, and men are giants indeed when I am amongst them. Even under torture, he hasn't lost his sense of humor. How can you jest when you still shake with pain? But I am Fulk the Jester, don't you know? Court Jester 2, God save him, Richard, Coeur de Lion. What? You're King Richard's own jester? Then our king is free? I will never betray my beloved master, so if this is some filthy trick to win my trust. Nay, listen well. I will place my life in your hands to show my good faith. I am no monk. I am Robin Hood. Sorry, should that mean something? Only that I'm the most hunted outlaw in all England. You have but to whisper my name to these monks, and I'm a dead man. Pray pardon me. I've been on the Crusades with, Blessed Mary protect him, our beloved king for many years. Alas, he's still a prisoner in Europe. But how came you here? My master sent me ahead of him, so I escaped Leopold's ambush. But upon reaching England, I fell into Prince John's hands. May he suffocate in offal. He turned me over to these monks, who seem to know you well enough. I swear by the Virgin Mary, I'm not one of them. The prior swears by the Holy Three, yet he tortures me. How would you have me prove myself, Fulk? Why should you want to? As I love my king, I swear I will not leave here unless I take his devoted servant with me. And I will not leave here without my verses. Beg your pardon? This is a long conversation for someone who's just been tortured and is in danger of being stumbled upon. They've written upon a ragged bit of scroll wrapped around a wooden cylinder. The prior, may the devil feed him dung for eternity, has taken them. The prior seeks to decode the secrets of my verses, but he must not, or I will have failed the trust my king placed in me. Return my scroll to me, and I'll never doubt you again. Okay, so I now have 2 scrolls defined. I need his, and I need Marian's. How did these people get by in life before I came along? My God. Alright. He's a stout fellow and truly loyal to the Lionheart to have resisted such torture. Okay. Well, we gotta find the scrolls. The prior said he'd be in the scroll room. So let's see. There are spiral stairs leading upward in this tower. At the top of the stairs, there's a locked door with a small barred window. Through it, I can see a small prison cell with no one inside. Ah, okay. So not that tower. There are spiral stairs leading upward in this tower. I see desks and scrolls inside. This is a room set aside for study. Okay, here we go. I need some of these scrolls. Prior is engrossed in studying a small scroll. And one of these back here is Marian's. I gotta find it. Oh my gosh, there's so many scrolls. This scroll contains a piece of history written by Pallas Orosius in the 5th century. It deals with Visorus, king of Egypt, in 480 Anno Domini. Visorus declared war upon the Scythians and sent an envoy with the terms of submission. This only angered the Scythians. Thinking Visorus both rich and stupid, the Scythians warned him to beware the uncertainties of war. Then, to forestall the attack on them, they marched forth and attacked Visorus. They drove Visorus out of his own realm, but the Egyptian army forced them to retreat until they were too severely hampered by marches to continue their war. Thereupon, the Scythians instead subdued Asia in war lasting 15 years. They were only forced to return to their homeland by the demands of their wives, who threatened that if they did not return, the women would have children by men of other tribes. This scroll tells of Amazons. These were wives whose husbands were killed in war. Deeply affected, they rose up and killed all the men who remained, so that all the women would be equally affected. They then turned and destroyed the enemy who had first slain their husbands. They burned off the right breast of the girl children so that they would not be hampered in shooting the bow. My God. The Amazons had 2 queens, Marpesia and Lepeto, and they would draw lots to see who would go to war and who would remain to protect their home. The Amazons conquered most of Europe, took many cities in Asia, and founded other cities and became rich with plunder. Such fear did they spread that at last Hercules came with 9 warships and assaulted them by surprise and massacred the 2 sister queens who ruled then, Antiope and Orythea. Penthesileia then became queen and fought heroically in the Trojan War. Thus reads the history of Pallas Orosius of the 5th century. This scroll describes the death of Attila as written by Jordanes in the 6th century. Attila had an endless number of wives, as was the custom of his race. But in the excess of his indulgences in women, combined with too much wine, caused him to fall asleep upon his back, whereupon a bloody flux from his nose flowed into his throat and killed him. He died of a nosebleed? The people of his race mourned him with great clamor. The men cut deep wounds into their faces so they would weep manly blood instead of tears. The women wept and wailed and cut their hair, yet so terrible was Attila that his death can only be counted a blessing. Isidore of Seville of the 7th century wrote the Etymologies. Here is a writing upon the origin of glass. Oh my gosh, who cares? It says glass came from Phoenicia next to Judea. There is a swamp from which comes the river Belus at the base of Mount Carmel, and it flows for 5 miles into the sea. The sands are washed clean from the river, and where meals were prepared along the beach and have no stones to place under utensils, they put down lumps of the mineral natron from their ships. When the natron burned, it mixed with the sand, and the new liquid flowed but was translucent. Soon, by experimentation with other substances, they developed this art and learned to smelt copper and natron within, and afterward to blow the lumps into shapes. A legend says that a man brought a glass vial to Tiberius Caesar and threw it upon the ground. It did not shatter, but dented like metal. The man could hammer it back into shape like metal, yet it was glass. Caesar asked if anyone else knew of this secret. The man said only he knew, whereupon Caesar had him decapitated, saying that if glass could be made that did not break, then gold and all metals would be worth no more than mud. Wow. Also, they took the time to add all of this to this game. Like, holy cow. From the Vita Caroli, written by Einhard in the 9th century, is a description of the habits of Charlemagne, ruler of the Franks. It says that he was extremely temperate in partaking of food and drink, especially drink, and abhorred drunkenness, especially in himself or any of his family. He ate only 4 courses in his daily meal, and most dearly loved hunted meat roasted over a spit. During the meal, he would hear some sort of recital or entertainment of history and stories of ancient deeds. Often in summer, after a light meal of fruit, he would sleep for 2 or 3 hours, for he would wake 4 or 5 times during the night. He would admit friends, litigants, and do other business, even while dressing, if the need was urgent. He knew many foreign tongues and was exceedingly skilled in Latin. He valued scholars and had many learned teachers, and studied also rhetoric and astronomy. He would fill his bed with tablets and notebooks, attempting to learn the art of writing, though he advanced not far in this, having started late in life. I still haven't found Marian's scroll. Here is a description of a palace in Constantinople called Magnara, or Magna Aula, meaning the Great Court. The emperor's chair within this palace was so constructed that it could be raised to a great height, even unto the ceiling, and lowered again. Before the seat was a tree made of gilded bronze, in whose branches were birds of gilded bronze, which would utter notes to match their species. Gigantic lions of gilded wood or bronze had tails that would lash the ground, jaws that opened to emit roars with quivering tongues. This was written by Liudprand in his Antipodosis in the 10th century, where they really went ham on the ancient myths and histories. But it's okay, I love that. And I've said in other streams, I miss how much fluff and story used to be in old game manuals. This manual has a bibliography, its last page. It's something like 30 different books, fiction and non-fiction, that the game designers pulled from. in order to build this. And they clearly found these cool stories and decided to flush them out and build the contents of a medieval library. It's random assortments of things. But I love that. It's so authentic feeling. Herein is a most amazing account of the siege of Jerusalem. Christians, Greeks, and Syrians were joined in the assault. Count Raymond, Duke Godfrey, also Robert, Count of Normandy, and Robert of Flanders were there. They built a siege tower of small pieces of wood, all that was to be had, and bound it with leather thongs. They attacked with catapults and other contraptions, and daring soldiers launched stones and arrows from the siege tower. The Saracens within hurled from their slings torches and flaming brands soaked in oil and fat, and thus many died upon both sides. By noon of the day dedicated to Venus, the walls were breached and taken. Franks and others poured in and pursued the Saracens, so that the enemy were driven to take refuge inside the holy places. Within the Temple of Solomon, 10,000 Saracens were decapitated. Not a soul was spared, neither the women nor children. The squires and poorest soldiers slit the bellies to search for jewels that had been swallowed, then burnt the bodies, to thus search in the ashes for coins. After the massacre, the Crusaders sacked the homes and took whatever they found there, rich or poor. However, Count Raymond allowed Turks, Arabs, and some 500 dark Ethiopians who had taken refuge in the Temple of David to depart alive, after leaving all their money within the citadel. This was written by Geoffrey of Monmouth in his Historia Regnum Britanniae. There is no notation of the writer of this scroll, yet it seems to speak of the history of this very fortress turned monastery. It speaks of the Ignis Fatuus, the will of the wisps, whose name means foolish fire. These, it says, are the spirits of the dead, those who have drowned in this fens. It speaks also of the guardians of the gate, and names them thus: Cogito, the thinker; Malitia, the malicious; Ineptus, the foolish; Vocalis, the speaker; Iunus, the hungry; Hilaris, the jolly; and Deformus, the ugly. It ends with this: when you've touched the face of wisdom and the face of that which hungers, then will the fool's tongue be loosened and the path made clear. Okay, that is definitely foreshadowing. Let's read that again. The thinker, 1. Malicious. The foolish, 3. Hungry, jolly, and ugly. Thinker, malicious, foolish, vocalis, hungry. When you've touched the face of wisdom and the face of that which hungers, then will the fool's tongue be loosened, 1, 5, 3, and the path made clear. Okay, we got clues here on how we escape. Oh, we're not done. Where's Marian's scroll? The duties of the cellarer of a monastery are described. He must be intelligent, mature of character, sober, have no greed, nor be lazy or insulting, nor boisterous. He should do nothing without the abbot's orders, and do whatever he is ordered. He should not offend the brothers, and should answer with humility and reason any untoward request. He should care for children, guests, the sick and poor, for by his treatment of them will he be weighed on the day of judgment. He is to look after the vessels and all sacred articles of the monastery. He is to give out equally and fairly the apportioned provisions to all brothers. This is written by Benedict of Nursia in the 6th century in his Regula. There's like 5 to go. Herein, Sulpicius Severus of the 5th century writes of the power of St. Martin, who had gone to a pagan village and destroyed an ancient temple. He began then to cut down a sacred pine tree, but the priests of the place objected. St. Martin exclaimed that it was not holy, but the boldest of them challenged him. He said, "If you have such faith in this God you worship, we will ourselves cut down this tree, if you will allow yourself to be bound to the ground where it will fall, trusting only to your God to save you. This St. Martin allowed, and was made fast onto the ground where the pagans thought no doubt could be that the tree would fall. As they cut, they cried out joyously, drawing a crowd. St. Martin had no fear and waited patiently, with full faith in the Lord. As the tree fell crashing, he lifted up his hand, and the tree was driven back to fall in the opposite direction, nearly falling upon those who had cut it. Thus were the pagans dismayed, and the village brought under the salvation of God. Okay. This scroll speaks of what philosophers call atoms, which are so minute that they are indivisible and cannot be cut or divided or further broken down. It is believed that these atoms sweep through the void of the universe, relentlessly, going in all directions. Some ancient philosophers considered that all things, grass, crops, trees, fire, water, spring from and are composed of these atoms. In Greek, tomos means division. Atomos means indivisibility. Thus writes Isidore of Seville in the Etymologies in the 7th century. Okay, I love etymology. I love the origin and history of words. So that one is actually probably the coolest one. I love how we get words, and it was one of the coolest things about taking Latin in college was seeing how much of our language is derived. You know the definition of words if you know their etymology and where they come from, and why certain words work in certain situations. And so I'm always excited to learn new things about words and language. That one was cool. "'Tis from an Anglo-Saxon manual of astronomy written but a century ago. It notes how the sea flows according to the rising of the moon, and that a tree cut down during a full moon will be harder against worm-eaten than those cut down under a new moon. It is not stars, but fire that falls from the sky, being fire which flies from heavenly bodies, for stars are fixed as God placed them in the firmament, and cannot fall as long as this world endures. Yet the moon, sun, evening, and day star, and 3 other stars are not fixed, and move in their courses through the heavens. Septem planetae, these 7 are called." This fits the description Marian gave me. I'll tuck it into my sleeve. Oh my god, I'm done. I found it. What's this last one? I've got to know. "By Venetius Honorius Clementinus Fortunatus, taken from opera Patrologia Latina in the 6th century. 'Tis a poem entitled Curse on the Chef. Black-hearted wretch, all caked in smoke, face like a stew pot smeared with soot, like your utensils filthy black, you 3-legged pot, you slimy pan. You don't deserve these verses mine. I'll make a charcoal sketch instead, whose shameful likeness will recall a pitch black-hearted man withal." And 'tis followed by Take It Easy, which reads as follows. "Drop business and lawsuits on the Palatine. This festive table bids you dine and wine. Let din of law and wrangling cases rest. The day is joyous. To relax is best." I like that one better. All right. I see nothing of interest. I can't do anything with that. Okay, so I've got Marian's scroll. Now I need the scroll of the prior. "Pardon me. Eh? Brother Eustace. Has the Cungian broke? Have you loosened his half-wit tongue?" "Nay, your grace." "Then what are you doing here?" One of your more trusted brothers arrived to take my place, and bade me tell you he'd break the dwarf for you soon enough." "Which brother dared to countermand my order to you?" "Forgive me, your worship. His name has clear fled my poor brain." "'Tis a poor brain indeed, a bacon brain more full of fat than sense. Do what you will for now. I'll deal with your punishment and his later." Alright, see the prize indulging in a bit of wine. And since that is not the same shade as everything else, it means it's interactable. So here we go. "Allow me to refill your goblet, your worship." You stupid, clumsy, worthless. Ugh. Clean up this mess. I'm going to my tower to wash out my robe. I, clumsy as a fox, your worship. Give me that scroll. Alright, I'm out. I found Marian's scroll. I read a lot of history. And I got the dwarf scroll. I am on my way. Let's go collect Folk the dwarf and get out of this rotten monastery. I don't look good in black. I need to get back into my Lincoln greens. Folk is still here as I left him. It's the scroll I took from the scribe's room. On this scroll are Folk's scribbled bits of doggerel. Okay, I need this one. Bless you, hooded Robert. Robin Hood. Sorry. No matter. We must turn our wits to escape. There is a way, a secret way. Follow me. I knew I liked you the moment I walked in. The monks brought me in this way. It looks like a solid wall, but press here and it opens. Follow me. Please, let's go at once. As soon as they discover I'm gone, they'll come looking for us. Oh, it's the faces. It's the faces. Okay, I can work with this. I have a feeling like I'm supposed to do this. I feel like I half remember I'm supposed to give him money. You are too kind, thank you, but please, let us leave here. Yeah, what a strange time to, like, give him money. Alright, here we go. I'm supposed to touch fool, hunger, no, thought, wisdom, a lean and hungry look. Fool, okay. The gargoyle may have shifted slightly at my touch, but it may have been a trick of the water. Thank the Virgin it didn't bite my fingers, though I almost thought I felt it move at my touch. And now the tongue. Aha! Now I've found the means to loosen this fool's tongue. And this is the hidden counterweight to raise the grate. And we're out! Boom! Robin and Folk. You've done it! We're free! We... Shh! Listen. Bells. They've discovered our escape. Thank the Blessed Lady, the fog is so thick on these waters. It'll hide us until we reach the shore. Gotta go, gotta go. Well, I'm glad I read those scrolls. That told me how to get out of the monastery. My poor words of gratitude could never express what is in my heart. Let me give you 2 parting gifts to show my sincerity. Take these ragged verses of mine. They hold secrets within secrets, treasures within treasures. Ooh. Now open the end of the wooden cylinder and tap gently into your hand what is hidden within. By the Virgin, a magnificent ring of lapis lazuli set in silver. No ordinary ring either. My master, God save the king, saved the life of a magician during the siege of Jerusalem. The magician gave him 2 magic rings, the ring that commands fire and the ring that commands water. The abbot of Nottingham, may his brain be infested with leprous maggots, has taken the ring that commands fire for himself. Whosoever wears that ring cannot be harmed by fire, however hot. That'll come in handy. What you hold in your hand is the ring that commands water. In truth, it commands elemental spirits or other such beings that live in watery places, rather than commanding the water itself. I bid you keep it safe until my master can come calling for it himself. And I charge you, if ever you can deprive that fat, scabrous abbot of the fire ring, you will be doing your king a noble service. I give you my word to put my wits to it. If it can be done, I will find a way. Then I commend to you these bits of tomfoolery that I call verse. Within them you will find the key to unlock the Ring of Fire. I went down, down, down in the... Oh, farewell then. I'm off to find Queen Eleanor and serve her until my master, bless him, is returned to us. Farewell, folk. We shall meet again if God wills. I think I've done a good day's work. Rescued a servant loyal to the king. I hurried back to camp as quickly as I could, arriving shortly after dusk to find the men anxiously awaiting my return. Would that this ring Fulk gave you could make you invisible. Then you could walk into Nottingham Castle and free the widow's sons. If you think I acted wrongly... Nay, Robin, it was as clever a trick as you've ever pulled. And freeing the king's own jester was a fine deed. But Hal, Hob, and Dickon will hang as soon as the sheriff pleases. Tomorrow may be our last chance to save them. Then tomorrow I will save them. Then let us sleep now. We'll need all our strength and cunning to save those men. All right, it is after 9, so I am going to save. Twitch Dickon. We're going to go save the three brothers next time. But for now, that is all for tonight. Thank you so much. I loved having people here with me to watch. I so love this game. It really is wonderful. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday night, and I will see you all next week.